What are the top 5 limiting beliefs I hear about working with a lawyer? This is going to be a fun episode. Excited for you to enjoy. Hey there, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Conscious Counsel podcast with your host and lawyer, Cory Sterling. That's me. My promise to you, I want to help you protect and grow your wellness business with both confidence and clarity. And that's what we're going to do today. This episode is a doozy. And I want to give a shout out to Chad on our team who helped me come up with the idea for the episode. So what's really fun and interesting about being a lawyer working with health and wellness and having done this for 8 years and having worked with more than 1,600 clients is that I've heard a lot of limiting beliefs about what people think about the law, what people think about working with a lawyer. And I thought that it would be fun and interesting for all of us to go through a couple of these top 5 limiting beliefs. And for each of them, I can share a story or a profile of a client who I've worked with and where I've seen these beliefs come up. And the reason why I take time to record these episodes and why I run my business and why I love doing what I love doing as a lawyer for health and wellness entrepreneurs is because I want you to have the confidence and the clarity to grow your business and take it wherever you want. And I had a really, really interesting conversation yesterday with one of my clients who is a 7-figure all-star on the coaching scene. And something really interesting came up for me that I want to share. So when we get to that point, I'm going to tell you. Okay, also, I feel like this is a little bit Family Feud style, and I'm channeling my inner Steve Harvey. We both have a mustache. What's up? If you're watching this, you can see my mustache. If you're listening to it, you could just visualize just a beautiful, luscious mustache hovering over a microphone, sharing these information and telling these stories. So the top 5 limiting beliefs that I hear about legal, the first one is, I'm too small. So this limiting belief would be, oh, I'm just working with people I know, or I'm just with my neighbors and I'm too small and I don't need to work with a lawyer because the people who I work with or the amount of money that I earn is so small. Okay, that's a limiting belief. And the truth is, the thing that you need to understand about the law is that your liability and the legal principles that apply to you, so that's like following privacy rules by having a privacy policy, making sure you're protected on social media, having clients sign a waiver of liability so that they agree not to sue you, having a client service agreement that outlines the terms of working together and what your qualifications are and what you can do and what you cannot do. If you have anyone on your team, if they're a contractor or an employee, having an agreement with them. The law does not care about how big your business is. And the law also doesn't care about how much money you make or if you do everything for free. So a lot of the times clients will say to me, oh, I'm too small and I'm not even charging that much. Doesn't matter. Even if you're doing something for free, at law, there's something that's called a duty of care. A duty of care means that you have a responsibility to make sure someone does not get hurt or suffer damages by working with you. Even if you're doing it for your neighbor, and you're doing it for free, you should still have them sign legal agreements because all of the rules apply to you. And now, another thing that I'll just add on to this, so it's sort of like a bonus limiting belief, is let's say you're working with your friends, right? Cool, you're teaching acro yoga to your friends, you're doing health coaching for your friends or something. Of course, your friends aren't going to sue you when everything's okay and everything's fine. But what I have seen is situations where someone is helping out a friend or a distant family member, something goes wrong, and then that person is no longer able to provide for their family, and that person needs to put food on their table. And when that situation comes in, people don't really care about friends if they're not able to work or they've suffered a concussion or they're seriously injured and they're not able to earn money for their family. At that point, they need money to support their family and themselves, and they'll bring a legal action. And I've seen that myself. So limiting belief number 1 is I'm too small. And the answer to that is you're not, and the rules apply to you even if you're doing everything for free. The number 2 limiting belief about working with legal is I'll do it later. If you listen to my last episode on Pay Me Now, Pay Me Later, you should go check it out because I go into great lengths to explain this situation and this mindset. But again, if you are operating your services, even if you're preparing to offer your services, the time to get legal is now. So getting to it later, as long as there's no issue and there's no problem, great. It's the exact same thing about wearing a seatbelt, right? Oh, I don't need to wear a seatbelt now. You're right. 99.9% of the time, you don't need to wear a seatbelt. But when you're in a situation where a seatbelt can save your life, you need to be wearing it. And so just this idea of like, oh, I'll get to my legal stuff later. Okay, it's possible that you could go on for a couple of months or even a year without needing legal. But when the moment comes that you need it, it can save your assets, it can save your savings, it can save your business. And in last week's episode, I shared a situation in a story where someone said, I'll get to it later, and ended up getting sued, and their business is likely going to have to declare bankruptcy. So I'll get to it later. Just think about not wearing a seatbelt. How long would you go with not wearing a seatbelt? Yeah, sometimes you're on a country road and there's no one in front of you, so it seems like you wouldn't need to, but who knows what's going to happen and what's around the corner. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm just a lawyer with 8 years of experience, and I've seen it all. Okay, limiting belief number 3. I don't need legal until I get sued. I hear that. And this fits in a little bit to the category of I'll get to it later. But I think even I don't need legal until I get sued is a limiting belief because it does not take into consideration the importance of being in control of a situation and having stronger legal position. So legal position is the foundation for everything that I do. It's the one concept. You can go back to episode 1 and listen to me talking about legal position. But if you believe that you don't need legal until there's a problem, when there's a problem, you're going to be behind the 8 ball and you're going to be practicing reactive law and you will not be in control of the situation. And the thing that I want for all of my clients is for them to be in control of the situation so that instead of a complaint or someone suing you or someone demanding money from you or someone forcing you to change your brand name because you don't have a trademark, instead of that situation, I want you to have the trademark registered. I want you to have the legal documents drafted specific to your business and the relationship that you want to have for your industry. And I just want you to forward me an email. Help me help you. If there's a legal problem, forward me the email of someone saying that they want to sue you or telling you to stop using your business name, as long as you've done everything properly and you're using specific agreements at best legal practices, just like I'm licking my chops. All I want to do is help my clients. All I want to do is take any stress or issues away from them and off their plate. And if you wait until you get sued or you wait until there's a problem, when that problem comes up, you're not going to be in control of the situation. It's going to cost you a whole lot of money and you're going to cry and be stressed. And this is all you're going to think about. And I've been through this so many times. So this information comes from a place of love. Number 4 of the top 5 limiting beliefs I hear about legal. Oh my God, this is a new one, but this is also super fun. I can get ChatGPT to do it. And what this used to look like was I can use my coach's template. Or alternatively, it was I went to a school and they gave us templates. And this is not good enough. So this is not good enough. And one thing that we do at Conscious Counsel is we always offer a free legal assessment. So anyone who's listening, you can just go to our website and write in and say, hey, I'd like to do the free legal assessment. And I, Cory, will look at your agreements and let you know what I think of them. Having done this for so long, 9.5 out of 10 times that someone sends me something through, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if I was opposing counsel and someone got injured at your studio or got injured working with you, and they signed this agreement, this is exactly how I would attack it, and this is why it doesn't work. And I understand that for a lot of things that ChatGPT can be really, really helpful, and I use it myself every single day, but I don't use ChatGPT to help me with my accounting, and I wouldn't use ChatGPT to help me with my legal documents because ChatGPT does not understand the specifics of the relationships you want to have in your business, plus the legal principles, plus the experience of having done this for so many years. So yes, ChatGPT can memorize the internet, but ChatGPT does not have an understanding of the particular nuances of your industry and the different types of legal issues that have come up and how you can have agreements be A, at best legal practices, but B, designed in a way to proactively protect you for issues that you don't see coming. The cool thing about my experience as a lawyer and having stuck around and done this for so long is I've had a lot of reps. I've had a lot of repetitions supporting clients. None of our clients using our documents have ever gotten sued. We've got 445 five-star Google reviews. I'm really, really good at what I do. I love what it is that I do, and I know what I'm doing. Templates, garbage. Templates are garbage. And the question that I'll always ask clients when they share a template with me, they'll be like, yeah, I've got this agreement and it's really good. And then my question is how do you know it's really good? And they're like, oh, well, my coach gave it to me, or I got this template and it's from the school and it's really good. The school's not a law firm. If you get sued using that agreement, the school has already had you sign a contract that says you're not going to hold them responsible. So being a lawyer in the space and understanding what needs to be in the agreement, and having had so many repetitions of being in back and forth and negotiations with people trying to sue my clients, we know what needs to be included and our agreements have all of that. And so unless you're a lawyer, if you're a lawyer, that's awesome, then you don't need to work with us. But unless you're a lawyer, you're not in a position to know what should be included in the agreement. And again, for me, it's just like with my accountant. I'm not an accountant. I don't know the best ways to have my tax strategy, and I let my accountant do it because I know that he takes care of me and he knows what's going on. And then finally, the fifth of the top 5 limiting beliefs is that it costs too much money. And I just want to say that I get it. I really, really understand that it's not fun to pay thousands of dollars to be legally protected. Before I was a lawyer, there were situations I was in where I had to work with a lawyer, and it always paid off. And the way that I look at working with coaches, the way that I look at working with professional services is, does it suck having to pay this money? Yeah, I would rather not, but it's the cost of doing business, and it also gives me peace of mind, security, and clarity. And the story I mentioned at the start that I want to tie in now came from, again, my client who is a really popular coach, a 7-figure coach. And they said to me, Cory, in the last version of the documents that you updated for us, I realized that before we hired you and I started working with you, I actually didn't feel confident in selling because I didn't feel confident in my legal position. And the moment after I got my documents from you guys and everything was finalized, I just went on a sales tear and tore it up. And this makes sense. And this is something that I see a lot of the time with clients where sometimes subconsciously there can be something holding you back, like you're not confident in your legal position. If a problem comes up, you're afraid that you could lose everything. And I get all of those things. And so when someone says to me, it costs too much, I'm like, you're just looking at this cost right now. You're not looking at what this investment will do for you in the future, in the sense of being able to navigate a really challenging legal issue, being in control of the situation, having a relationship with award-winning lawyers who can support you, and then also the benefit and the payoff in all areas of your business and your life from being confident and secure and having clarity around your legal. So to wrap everything up, the top 5 limiting beliefs that I hear: number 1, I'm too small, which we know isn't true because the law applies to you even if you're doing things for free. I'll get to it later. Pay me now, pay me later. Shared stories about it. You're going to need legal if you're operating your business. You want to be in control of the situation. I don't need legal until I get sued. Again, same idea. You want to be in control of the situation. You want to protect your intellectual property. You want to make sure that you're in control of the situation and not just waiting for something bad to happen. ChatGPT and templates, doesn't have the experience, doesn't understand all of the latest rules that applies to your particular industry, and doesn't have the repetitions of having seen what legal challenges and issues are going to come to you. And number 5, it costs too much. You're just thinking about an upfront cost. A, it's the cost of doing business, but B, the payoff and the dividends come in so many different ways. So I hope that you enjoyed and loved this episode. If you'd like any more information about our legal practice, check out our website, consciouscounsel.ca, and I look forward to supporting you and working together.